Ready to have some fun? Let's do it.
Be honest, I'm a nature freak.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents. All kinds of happy little things going on. And if it doesn't make you happy, you're doing the wrong thing.
Dude, it is freaking hot today.
It is.
So bad.
I think it's officially summer.
I think so too. Wasn't that 2 days ago? Wasn't it Sunday
I don't know.
2 days, whatever.
You know
No,
what?
today.
Today's the first day of summer?
Today is the summer solstice. Is that how you say it?
Whoa.
And that is the start of summer.
Episode 3, happy summertime, guys.
Yeah,
Huh?
by the time this
Yeah.
comes out, it'll be really, really summer.
Golly.
How do you say what you just said?
Solstice?
How do you say it?
Solstice.
Yep. Sounds good.
How do you say
How
it?
do you say it?
I say it like you guys say it.
Okay.
How
that
have you heard
wrong?
it said before?
Solstice? Solstice? Is that how you say it? Solstice?
Solstice.
I think if it's one of those words, if you say fast enough, nobody's going to
Yeah, no one
check
will
in.
notice.
Dude,
Let's
you
see.
know, yeah. It's like one of those things where, like, when you think about, like, how your tongue doesn't perfectly fit in your mouth, your tongue starts to, like, you, like, don't know how to, like, make it, right? Or, like, when you have to think about how to breathe,
Yeah.
right? Your tongue
Yeah,
doesn't...
the breathing thing really messes me up.
You think about it, and
I
you're
think
just
about
like,
it a lot.
dang, I
Or
have
like
to try to-
blinking. If you think about blinking.
Then you start
that-
blinking
Yes,
more.
so
Yeah.
bad. Isn't it weird to think how your brain, like, takes care of that stuff on its own? Like, you don't have to, like, or literally, like, when you're sleeping, I think I get fascinated just thinking about how your heart pumps. Like, when you, like, you're not even thinking about it, and your brain is, like, just running your body.
Yeah. I try not to think about that too much. I get like really flipped out about
Yeah,
it. Like,
I know.
Yeah.
Like, your heart just stops.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly
It makes
what I
me
think
believe
about.
that, like, the Walking Dead zombies, because that could actually happen. Because in the Walking Dead, like, their brain stem is still working, which is why they're moving and, like, trying to eat you and stuff. And so it makes me
Interesting.
scared.
Why do you think that would happen?
Well, because, like, our brain does stuff without us even have to think about it. So, like, if, like, most of our brain was dead, but not all of it, like, we could be zombies and, like, eat people because we don't know what we're doing.
Do you guys remember when Ebola was a thing and everyone
Yeah,
just thought it was
that's
like
basically
zombies?
zombies. Yeah.
I don't know. Is it just me, or do you guys feel like Ebola was like a thing that people talked about? It was in the news, and it was like going to be like taking out the world, and then it's like it went away. Like
Yeah.
people stopped talking about it. Was that just me, or do you guys think that happened?
Yeah, I feel like people
like a
thought
Mandela
Ebola
effect.
was going to be what COVID was, but it didn't ever get to that point. So, like, everyone was scared that it would become, like, this huge world thing like COVID, but we stopped it from getting into the United States and, you know.
But see,
Yeah.
I thought a guy like in Texas got Ebola,
Yeah, I
And-
thought, yeah.
and then he died, and then that's the last thing I remember hearing.
I remember
about it.
being scared about it. Like, they're like, it was in America, and
Yeah.
it, like, became a thing that people were, like, worried about.
I got a question for you. If you were to design a horrible disease that was going to plague America, because there's games on that. There's games on like designing your own disease. What would it be? Like, what would be the like the side effect of the disease?
Explosive
Yeah,
diarrhea,
that's what I figured.
for sure.
That's where I thought it was going.
Yeah, for sure.
Josie, what about you?
If you
I don't
Like,
know.
what would be the side effect of your disease?
Something with, like, the ears. Like how you lose hearing for a little bit or something, or your hearing's like your hearing's weird. Kind of how
Yeah.
like with COVID you'd lose taste or stuff would taste weird. Your hearing's weird, so you hear things at a different pitch than what's normal.
Whoa.
That'd be annoying,
like
huh?
voices and stuff.
Yeah, you just hear like voices, music. So you like listen to Taylor Swift and you're like, is this Alvin and Chipmunks version or like
everyone
what?
just way high pitched.
Yeah.
Wow,
That'd be annoying, huh?
Would it go away, or would it just be permanent?
Maybe last few weeks or something. Enough to get there.
See, my mind goes.
Lock in the room. I'm not listening to anything.
See, because I know people that have like never got their taste and smell back, or like they never got the
yeah.
taste back. But imagine that though. It's like a whole
That's terrible.
generation that now everything they hear sounds like the Chipmunks, and then generations on generations.
But then at that point, they wouldn't even know. Like, that's
They
all you
wouldn't
would know.
exactly.
That's true.
It would just be all chipmunk.
Yeah.
Real high voice.
Yeah.
Real
Oh,
high
that'd be
pitched.
terrible.
All right, what about you? Have you thought about this question?
I think something fart related. I probably would have hit the
we're
diarrhea
back.
with you, but
Hit
probably
the
like,
diarrhea. I would hit the diarrhea too.
yeah, because if you like, I don't know, I just feel like it's too mean outside of like saying, it's like, who wants to say like I don't know, like clogged arteries or something? Like that doesn't sound fun.
No,
you know,
it
like
does
high
not.
cholesterol. Like I don't know, something fart related, something real embarrassing.
High cholesterol, dude. I know I'm getting older because like I'm like starting to struggle with high blood pressure. Isn't
ya?
that a fun conversation to have on?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
That's exactly what that's what we wanted to talk about. So I'm glad we arrived.
Yeah, it's not good. I went to the doctor the other day and she was like, "You have like almost stage 2 hypertension," and I was like, "Yeah, it runs
Cool.
like that." And
I didn't even know there were stages.
Yep.
What are the stage? How many stages are there?
2.
You arrived.
Yeah, I should be on medicine, but
Oh man.
I think it's because I stress. Dude, I get so stressed. I just run hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why, especially.
What like stresses you out?
Dude, I have no idea. I think honestly, like deepest, darkest secret here, I'm like a control freak, and so anytime anything steps outside of like my thinking on, I just spaz, dude. But
Yeah.
anyway,
What would be like one thing where it's like, oh, I can't control it, like the weather or something? Like what would be?
no. So my friends make fun of me for it all the time. Like if we have plans to like be out of the house by a certain time and we're not out the door by then, I'll like pace like real bad. And like my sister, like my family, it's a running joke. It's that I just like I pace so bad. I'll literally just walk around the house like if something is not going according to plan and stuff. And actually, I don't know if it's because it's not something I'm controlling. It's just like just going outside of a plan. I just flip out. So it's not good.
Yeah, that sounds not good at all.
Yeah.
Do you do anything for fun?
Go for walks, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. No,
Or do you do that for your own health?
I really try to figure that out pretty quick.
Take down
man.
the blood pressure.
Yeah,
Going for
I'd-
walks.
Play pickleball or something. I don't know. Try something new.
Yeah, I need to
Sounds
figure it
pretty
out.
rough.
Yeah. Dude, pickleball taking over the world right now, huh?
Isn't that like the fastest growing? Someone said that.
LeBron
It's like
James has a team, so
LeBron James.
yep.
Okay.
If anybody's looking for a team,
Yeah.
the king.
No.
No? Oh boy.
Are you a LeBron James fan?
Yeah, for sure.
Like like hardcore? Like
No,
he's
not
number one in
hardcore.
your mind?
Yeah, he might be the GOAT.
Why do you say that?
Well, just because I don't want to create like huge debate about it. I'm not a big sports guy at all, but
Yeah.
I think that I don't know if this is a good thing to get onto.
How many
LeBron James.
how many championships did LeBron win?
I have no idea.
Could not tell you.
A lot.
Pretty sure it's 5. How many has
Oh no!
how many have Michael Jordan? How many have Michael
I'm trying to
Jordan?
make a pickleball joke, dude.
Yeah, no,
LeBron has 4.
didn't you shush me earlier?
Dude's changing real quick. isn't
How
it?
many does he have, Josie?
LeBron has 4. Michael Jordan has 6.
Interesting. No,
What are you from, Chicago?
are you from Chicago? No, I
You
think
lived
Michael
in
Jordan wins.
Nope. Anyway,
6-4 until he
actually,
had 6.
I
Until he had
became-
6 or 7.
I became a LeBron fan because growing up here in Muncie, the Pacers sucked when we were kids, and so for me, it was like I just picked a team that was closest to Indiana. That was good, and it was obviously Cleveland, and that's when LeBron was over there. So I
Yeah.
just became a LeBron fan ever since then.
I feel like that's like a really common Indiana thing to do, though. It's like you pick either a team from Ohio or a team from Illinois or something.
Dude, we have nothing.
Michigan.
We have nothing.
Yeah, like yeah, or Michigan. I guess there's a lot of Michigan fans around too.
I remember-
and Ohio fans.
I remember one time I was in the car with my mom and my dad was talking about how Indiana is referred to as like the pass-through state or something like that.
Yeah.
And my mom was like actually offended by it. She's like, I hate that that's what our hometown is referred to as. Like, she
Yeah,
was
the crossroads of America.
Crossroads of America.
Yep.
She was legit upset about it.
Oh man.
Yeah. But what are you going to do?
Yeah. I feel like that happened way before us. It's like, that's just we're born into it. So,
Well, it's because like all the major railroads back in the day passed through Indiana. Like that's why we're called the crossroads of America.
Do you talk about that in school or something?
I remember learning about it at some point.
I don't
Really?
know that at all. What kind of
Yeah.
student were you?
What do you mean?
Like in like elementary and middle school and stuff? Were you a good student?
Yeah, I was always a good student. Like my mom won't say I'm a saint, but I was like the saint of the family. Like I got good grades. I wasn't smart by any means, but like I made it through school because I had smart friends.
So you cheated.
Yeah.
No, but they helped me a lot.
I was about to ask, what does that mean?
No, I was still stupid. Like, I took AP English, and I actually passed the AP exam, and my teacher called my mom because she was so shocked that I passed. She doesn't call any parents, but she called my mom. She's like, you won't believe this. Josie passed the English AP test. But she loved my sister the next year for some reason. And my sister was a terrible student, never showed up to school. She was like on probation because she missed so many days. And the teacher loved her and was like, yeah, your sister just complained too much. And I'm like, well, probably because I was stupid and struggling in your class. But I somehow passed the AP exam. So I was a pretty good student. I never got into trouble. I never did anything bad. I got lunch detention one time because in my senior year, instead of going to my internship, he told me not to go in today. I was at a radio station in my hometown. That's where I had my internship. And he was like, don't come in today. So I just stayed home. And they've somehow found out that I didn't go anywhere from the first like 2 periods of the day. And so I got lunch detention.
Jeez.
What was lunch detention like for you? What did
You
they
go
do?
get your lunch and then you sit in a room with all of the other delinquent children who have lunch detention for actual reasons.
You think
you just sit there in silence and eat.
Dude, I was one of those kids. That's why I think I got so hot. I was one of those delinquent kids for sure. I was in there all the time, dude.
In lunch detention?
Yeah, in ISS, in school suspension.
So, like, what was it like for you? Like, was it similar to her, like, Josie's experience?
Dude, I was in there and I, like, knew the person who ran it really well. Like, she actually we became, like, close because, like, I was in there enough and she kind of, like, invested in me a little bit and stuff. So it was a good experience for me. But, I was not a good student at all. So got held back in 5th grade.
Let's go.
For your behavior? Or?
No, I was dumb. No, my mom just told me, she's like, no, it's just because we started you at school too soon, which is a lie.
Yeah.
Kids, if your parents tell you that, you're dumb. That's why you got held back.
Oh my gosh.
Just kidding. JK.
Well, about people being dumb?
Yeah. I did get held back.
We'll be right back.
Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
He really does have like the truth bomb moments. And he knows how to drop a mic.
Dude,
we'll be right back.
Dude, I wish I no joke was watching a clip of someone that walked into a Dr. Phil episode, and I was literally thinking about sending it to you, and he like walked in and he started like dancing in front of like the person who was in the other seat, like really weird, like kind of like showboating a little bit. And Dr. Phil the whole time was like, sit down, like trying to calm him down. They're like moonwalking at the people in front of him and stuff. So funny.
Yeah. You should definitely send that.
Yeah, I will.
I'd love to see it.
Definitely will.
Yeah, that sounds funny.
Yeah.
My dad was telling me the story the other day that he had a guy that he worked with, a buddy of his, that they'd go out and get like Chinese on their lunch breaks and stuff. In that, you know how like there's fortune cookies with your meal?
Yes.
He always told me that this one guy, like if he didn't like the fortune cookie, like what it said, he would eat it. He would eat the paper.
Oh.
He'd go, no, I don't agree with that.
Saw it.
He'd just chew it and eat it.
I didn't see it. Mine didn't have one, I guess.
I've been thinking about that ever since he told me. It's like,
Ooh.
what led that guy to the point where it's like, this is what corrects the course?
Yeah, someone must have told him one day, like, hey, if you eat it,
You can
then
eat those.
it won't come true.
Those are biodegradable. You can eat that.
Yeah.
He's
I doubt it.
He's just compacted full of paper at this point.
Like, don't worry. If it's something you don't like, eat it, and it'll make sure it does the opposite.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, that's so funny. Speaking of like eating things like that, dude, I remember when I was in first grade, my first grade teacher told our class that she ate like cups of dirt and then ate watermelon seeds and was like chugging water. And we all believed that by the end of the school year, she was going to like have a watermelon like grow in her.
That would be a good prank for a teacher who's pregnant.
I was thinking the same
Oh,
thing.
yeah, that would have been. She was not pregnant.
Because then, at the end of school year, she would have had a big belly. Like,
would've
this is a
been good.
watermelon, y'all.
That would have been
I
good.
was thinking the same thing. I'm like, that's what I thought the buildup was going to be.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That
She's
would've been
just
awesome.
crazy.
Yeah, she's
crazy.
Just goofball.
How old were you? She's just goofball. How old were you when she told you that?
First grade. How old are you in first grade?
I don't know.
Dude,
pretty
I
young.
don't know. I don't remember.
But I mean,
Like
I still feel like
8,
that's too young
9.
to say, hey guys, You can do this if you want a watermelon.
I thought
in
it
your
was
stomach.
real. I for sure thought it was real. I don't know if I can say this on this podcast, but do you remember those commercials where it was like, I can't remember it might have been for Walmart or something like that, but it was like talking about like shipping your pants.
Oh yeah, was that Target?
I can't remember who it was.
I don't
There was like
remember.
that old dude that walked in. He's like, I just shipped my pants.
Yeah.
Dude, so funny.
Yeah, everything was about it was like about unlimited shipping, but everything they were doing.
Yeah, dude.
There's on that commercial because it's like one of those. I don't know if they call that like a band commercial, but there's one where there's
Kmart. It's a Kmart.
Kmart.
That's right. Yeah.
There's one where there's like an older guy, like it was on that same commercial. He's like an older guy in the bed. He's like, I just shipped the bed.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Dude, that's so funny. Dude,
We'll be right back.
dude, just keep hitting that the whole time.
I don't know if I ever saw this.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Ship my pants. Right here? Ship my pants, you're kidding.
You can ship your pants right here.
You hear that? I can ship my pants for free.
Wow, I just may ship my pants.
Yeah, ship your pants. Billy, you can ship your pants too.
I can't wait to ship my pants.
That one was close.
It's very convenient.
Very convenient.
I just shipped my drawers.
I just shipped my nightie.
I just shipped my bed.
You can't find what you're looking for
That
in
guy's
store.
my favorite.
We'll find it at Kmart.com right now and ship it to
Oh,
you.
that's
for
a
free.
good one.
Some of those were close. Some of those did not sound like shit.
Well, did you listen to the teaching when Chris read the things that have been in church programs before? No. That sounded like so inappropriate.
Yeah, sometimes I love the pictures of like the bad church, like billboard things and stuff like that. Some
my
of the
gosh,
stuff that
yeah.
they'll have out on there is so funny. Can't think of any off the top of my head, but they're out there.
Well, I definitely think like there was a saving grace, like pre-live stream before everyone started live streaming things. It's like
True.
you know, now it's just like you gotta be on it. You gotta proofread it. for
Oh
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bad church signs. Tired of being a loser? Turn to God. That's a nice
Solid.
one. We love hurting people. That's one of them.
That's a good
That's
one.
all it is. That's the sentence. We love hurting
We
people.
love
It means
hurting
like we
people.
love people who are hurting, but
But
it's like
wait,
we love
yeah.
hurting people.
What would be a nightmare scenario for like you on a stage? Like what would be that nightmare? Maybe it's not on a stage, but like what is a nightmare where it's like, okay, that's gonna live around for a while.
Tripping and everyone seeing it.
Tripping.
Yeah.
Just
Just
tripping?
so embarrassing.
Like tripping and falling and
Yeah.
getting
Like
back up?
tripping the front stairs that are super steep. If I
Oh,
like
yeah.
just tripped up or down those.
That would be bad. Can you
I would
imagine
leave.
giving a full teaching or something like that and your fly's undone? You like walk back and realize?
Think about it every Sunday.
Do you?
Every day.
Just
Yeah,
gotta
every
check.
Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every day. Because there's no good way to check that in front of people.
Well, not in front of people, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Giving the full one and then realizing it at the end, that would be rough.
That would be bad.
Yeah, realizing it on the stage at the end,
Yeah.
you know, and then trying to do something about it at the end.
Just turn around.
Because everyone's been with you on that journey the whole time.
The front row is just, it's just
Yeah.
getting rocked.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about the front row,
Yeah.
the second or the third
It's
row.
bad news
Yeah.
for everybody, dude.
Yeah,
It's bad news.
That's bad news bears.
All right, I have a little game for us. Okay.
Okay.
So I was going through for the intro, like listening to some of Bob Ross's quotes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know this, dude, Bob Ross has some banger quotes, dude. So he's a deep dude. When he's up there painting, he's got a lot going on in the head there. And so I kind of was thinking like, if you guys could tell the difference between like world-renowned philosophers' quotes or a Bob Ross quote. Okay.
Okay.
So I have 5 of them.
That's a really good game. Okay.
Yeah. So that's we have 5 of them. So I'll do the first one here. Okay.
Yeah.
So it says happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions.
And we have to say it like that's a
Bob Ross or
philosopher
not Bob
or
Ross?
both.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to say not Bob Ross. What do you think, Caleb?
I'm leaning towards Bob Ross.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go not Bob Ross.
Okay. That's the Dalai Lama.
Dalai Lama.
Yeah. See, it's tricky. It's tricky. Okay. I have
So
another
I got a
one.
point?
You got a point.
Okay.
Should we keep track of scores?
Is this
here?
out of
Yeah,
5?
we should keep
Out of 5. This is
Yeah,
out
my
of
hands
5.
are getting sweaty. All right.
This is
All
out
right.
of 5.
all
Okay.
right.
Number 2. I don't know if anything in nature ever grows exactly the same, but they're always exactly as they should be, perfectly itself.
That's Bob Ross.
Bob Ross.
That's Bob Ross.
Yeah.
Yes, that's Bob Ross. All right, number 3. What lies behind you and what lies in front of you pales in comparison to what lies inside of you.
That's not Bob. Yeah, I don't think that's Bob Ross.
I'm gonna say it's Bob Ross. That's a hard one though.
That is not Bob Ross.
Bob
That's
Ross.
Ralph Emerson. I don't know who that is, but all right, number 4. The secret to doing anything is believing you can do it.
That's Bob Ross.
Bob Ross.
That is Bob Ross. Dude, you guys are doing way better than I thought.
I think it's a tied game right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it tied?
I think so.
Yeah.
Is it tied? Okay. All right, number 5. You ready? Here we go. Number 5. If you've never been to Alaska, go there while it's still wild. My favorite uncle asked me if I wanted to go there, Uncle Sam. He said if you don't, you're going to jail. That's how Uncle Sam asks you.
I don't think Bob Ross
I
would
feel
have
like that's
said
Bob.
that.
I feel like that's Bob Ross.
What's your guess?
I'm gonna say no.
That's just a philosopher?
Yeah.
That's Bob Ross.
That's such a random. I just can't picture him saying that.
That doesn't even make. I literally just put that in there to be funny. I don't even get what that means.
Yeah, I don't get what that
If
means
you've never
either.
been to Alaska, go there while it's still wild. My favorite uncle asked me if I wanted to go there, Uncle Sam. He said if you don't, you're going to jail. That's how Uncle Sam asks you.
That doesn't
What
make
does that
sense.
mean?
I don't know.
He's painting mountains when
Is
he
he
said
trying
that.
to play like do a double play on like his actual uncle, but also the government? Is that what he's trying to
Maybe.
say? Like
Maybe.
Uncle Sam.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Here, I
Well,
have-
and depending on the time that came out, who know? Like, it could have been like a worldly
True.
comment, like of whatever
True.
was going on.
True.
But
I
that was a good game.
Yeah.
I have
I
one
like
more.
that game.
One
I have
more?
one more.
Okay.
Just guess and see if. I just thought this one was funny, so I threw it in there. It says, I might be ugly, but my cars are real pretty.
No, not Bob Ross.
Yeah, that's pretty like.
Well,
that's pretty like.
Maybe, but
self-attack.
I just don't feel like he would say that.
Yeah, like I don't know. I want to think that that's not Bob Ross.
Okay. So both are saying no.
Yeah.
That's Gucci Mane. So
Gucci Mane. So we were right. Oh my gosh.
I was going through like big philosophy quotes, and at the
Yeah.
bottom he was like a name that was down there. I was like,
You're
dude,
like,
what?
Gucci Mane.
Gucci Mane's in here.
What are you doing here?
Hi, Gucci.
That's making the list.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a.
Well,
yeah,
good
wow.
game, Nathan.
Yeah,
Thanks for doing that. That was,
I appreciate
that was
it.
good.
Hey, thanks,
Wow.
You brought the game. I brought the questions.
dude. We're about it.
Oh yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, good stuff.
Well,
Dude.
we can jump in to some of these questions.
Okay.
The first one I have here is, why do bad things happen to good people?
Have bad things ever happened to you?
Yeah.
Like what?
My dad getting sent to Afghanistan when I was like 8 years old. My parents divorced when I was like 1 year old. My great grandma dying. My cat dying a few weeks ago.
The laughs under each answer is concerning.
Being cut from the volleyball team when I was in middle school. My
those-
first engagement failing.
Josie.
The list goes on.
Are
What? Those are all things that happened
I
to
know, but
me.
they're like
The
so-
consecutive
it's like-
suicides in high school.
The first question I have, are those all in
This
like
category.
are they all in order, or like are they all like are there some that are worse than others, or are they all just
Oh
like
yeah, there's definitely some that are worse than others.
okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Because you just listed them off.
I was just like thinking of things like that were bad that made me think like, wow, life sucks.
yeah.
Those are all things that made me think.
Like throughout any of that, were you ever like, why?
Yeah.
Yeah, why God?
Yeah.
What kind of got you through some of that?
Well, honestly, like the worst thing I ever went through in my life was when my first engagement ended. That was terrible. But what got me through it was COVID, so I was stuck at the house with my family. So my mom made me sew masks for healthcare workers because I can sew and stuff. So I like sewed like hundreds of masks within like a few months. Because my mom was just like, we're going to sweatshop, man. Like, I got up and she was like, go work on those masks. Or else I would have laid in bed all day and been like, why, God, did you ruin my life? Because it like ruined it ruined the trajectory, like that engagement. And I had my whole life planned out.
Yep.
Like we started planning the wedding.
Yep.
I was going to do my internship in Missouri. Like all that stuff. And so it changed like everything. So I was like, why God did this happen to me? I didn't do anything wrong.
How long was that, like, the engagement and stuff?
The engagement was like a year-ish, a little bit less than. But we were like high school sweethearts or whatever, so we had been together for a while. And like I didn't do anything wrong, which is why I had the sense of like, why did this happen to me? I'm not the bad person. I didn't do anything wrong. And so that sucked. And I was like, why are these bad things happening to me when I did nothing wrong? Especially at that time in my life, I was very close to God because I was like, I had gone multiple years at Taylor, gotten a lot closer to God, was like doing everything that I thought was like right, doing everything that I thought was good. And then still these bad things happened to me.
Yeah. I think that's actually a good thing to think about. Like, it is easy to fall into the temptation when we're going through difficult times to think that, those things are happening maybe because it's like I did something bad or I did something wrong. And it's just honestly sometimes like sucky things just happen in life in general, right? And like scripture actually talks about that in Ecclesiastes. It talks about how it says, God lets the sun shine on both the good and the bad, something like that. And it's like, it's important to know that, like, it's hard to deal with when we say, bad things happening to good people, but it's kind of like, it's not because God's punishing anybody for anything. It's just sometimes life, unfortunately, takes really hard turns and stuff like that. It's just how we respond to them. But
yeah, luckily for me, like I can look back on that now and know that it was actually good. At the time, it didn't feel good, but now that I'm like married to a good person and have a good life and a good job and everything, now I look back and know it was for good. But I think about people who like have cancer and like who get like sicknesses, and it's like they're like these perfect. Well, no one's perfect, but they're like very good Christians, and you would think that they're too good for this to happen to. Like, why is God doing that to them?
Yeah, have you ever heard of the Christian speaker? He's passed away now, but I think his name is John Lennox. He had I heard a conversation that he had with someone. It was like it was with an atheist, and they were having a conversation kind of on this, and the question was, why does suffering happen? Because I think that's a big reason why a lot of people like kind of turn away from God, is because you can see the suffering in the world, and it's like, why would a good God let these types of things happen? And I think that's a big question that we should like constantly wrestle with. But he responded in a way that I thought was so beautiful. And he said, you can look at all the different philosophies or world religions or anything like that, and only in Christianity do you see a God who's completely perfect and away from suffering choose to step into suffering and take it on for the sake of other people. And it's like, you don't find that in anything else besides Jesus, right? Like Jesus, even though we can't fully understand why good thing or bad things happen to good people, there's comfort, I think, in knowing that a perfect God stepped down and took on suffering to be with us. And in our suffering, I think that's when we're closest to God and closest to Jesus, because he took on suffering completely. So, but yeah.
Do you think that there is any like holiness and like brokenness in suffering? That there's a holiness quality to that at all? Have you guys ever thought about that?
Yes, I think 1 Peter, 2 Peter really deals with the topic of suffering, and it talks a lot about, honestly, like I think it's safe to say the calling of a Christian, like the word holy that you used is to be set apart, right? Like holy means being set apart. And so I think it's what makes us a Christian is by being holy in the way we respond to suffering. Because when we're going through suffering situations, you can see in the world so many people will turn to like quick fixes and distractions and things to help them to get through suffering, or they'll just like bury suffering until it's like, it pops back up years later as like depression or something like that. But as Christians, I think we're called to respond wholly to suffering by doing exactly what Jesus did, and that's actually choosing to take on suffering, right? Like, as a Christian, we have to respond to suffering not by running from it or trying to pretend it's not there, but actually fully walking through it, just like Christ did, for the sake of other people, right? Because that's exactly what Christ did, was he chose to take on suffering. Like, Jesus could have like not went through the suffering he went through, right? Like scripture talks about how he had authority over both heaven and earth, and he could have brought forth legions of heaven's armies to come and like stop the people from taking him when he was being taken to be crucified, right? Like when Peter, one of the disciples, cut off the ear of the soldier, he was like, "What are you doing? Don't you know I could have stopped this?" But like Jesus chose to go through suffering because he knew that his death, which is a terrible way, a terrible suffering, brought forth life for all of people. And I think as Christians, like, we're actually called to suffer with Christ, like bear your cross daily. And it's like, I think we're supposed to look at our suffering, look at our hurt and our pain, and trust that God is over it all and still being comfortable and confident walking through it, but trusting that he'll turn the brokenness of our situations hopefully into something beautiful for other people. Because I think that's, that's what I think. But
We'll be right back.
No, that was really good though. I feel like that kind of viewpoint of suffering doesn't get talked about a lot in the church. Because to me, when I think of suffering, it's always like you just have to like fake it till you make it. Like everything sucks right now, but you have to just like pretend that it's fine. You need to keep doing the thing. You need to keep praying. You need to keep going to church and just like pretend everything's fine. And so your idea of like, no, like you got to step into it and actually experience it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you think about it, like I think I had really awesome conversations with, I think the Catholic tradition and the Protestant tradition, we should have a lot more like conversations with each other, because I think the Catholic tradition views Jesus as the suffering servant, whereas the Protestant tradition views him more as like the risen, like
the
king.
savior. Yeah.
And I mean, both of those are true.
Yeah.
But like, I think the thing that we do to a fault on the Protestant side is we'll ignore the suffering side of Jesus just to think about how he conquered death and he rose from the grave and everything like that. And because like there's so much beauty and comfort in recognizing that Jesus suffered. Like, it's a terrible concept to think about, but like Jesus, for me, as I've gone through really difficult seasons of my life, like losing loved ones and things like that, it's like I take comfort in recognizing that Jesus, who doesn't deserve to suffer at all, is suffering with me in the midst of my pain. Like when Lazarus died, Jesus, even though he knew that Lazarus would be risen from the dead, he wept with the family and everything like that. So I don't like why you're smiling. What's going on?
I just feel good.
Yeah, I do think that's such a powerful, I don't know, just the fact that in the midst of our suffering, Jesus is still present with us in those. But, oh, what a time to choose to start laughing. Oh my gosh, dude. Anyway, I don't know where we go from here. We'll be right back. Oh, dude. Jeez.
It's like when I was talking about my cat or something in the last one of the last episodes.
I laughed so hard at that. Like,
and Kim goes, "Why are you laughing?" You're like, "Oh, I'm comfortable."
Oh my God. Yeah, it was funny. The camera she was like talking about it, and you're like, "Why'd you just laugh, you psycho?" And then the camera panned to me, and I'm sitting here like. It's like that. Dude, I remember I had a friend who lived next door, and it was during her birthday party one time, and we were all over there, and her whole family was there, and her grandma was there, and she was in the garage, and we were sitting in there, and her grandma came up to me and my group of friends, and she was like, I can tell who clips their fingernails with clippers or who bites them off. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Like my little 8th grade mind was like, that's wild. I was definitely younger than that, 8-year-old mind. And she looked at my fingernails and she's like, you bite them. And she was like going through all of them. And on my mind, I was like, dude, this lady's a witch, bro. Like, how did she know this? And then as I got older, I was like, burn immediately. But no, then it's like, oh yeah, obviously you can tell because they're jacked up and jagged. Yeah. I just think about how nice your nails are, and mine are just destroyed.
Well, I used to bite my nails, which is why I started getting acrylics in college, because I was like, I'm tired of biting my nails. Like, I'm going to be a grown woman soon. I need to knock that off. Yeah. And so I was like, well, I'm just going to get acrylics. Then I can't. Yeah. And then I just enjoy my nails being done now.
Do you still have to fight the urge to bite your nails even with...
Not anymore.
How much did that cost you to get those done?
These? Yeah. $40. God, Ainsley is cheap.
Yeah.
Other places, if I were to go to like a
$40.
regular nail salon, these would be like $80,
Man.
if not more.
Yeah.
You get 40 McChickens with that.
But it's only like once a month. You only go get your nails done like once a month.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So
I guess so. Yeah.
I don't know.
I still
Do you-
buy I still buy my nails.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah,
I
it's
was gonna
disgusting.
ask.
I'll literally move my couch to clean it and it's just filled with
Ew.
fingernails.
Oh my God.
Jake does, and I smack his hand whenever he does it.
Just a bed of nails.
Ew, that is
fingernails.
so nasty.
Yeah, that's
You imagine
nuts.
that? Yeah. There's a person down there too, just with my nails,
Ew.
eating them. No.
Ew. It's like I had a friend growing
This
up.
is a conversation for the guys.
I had a friend who grew up who had a booger wall.
Oh yeah, I had a booger wall.
Ew.
Oh, yeah, I did.
That's
You had a
so
booger
gross.
wall.
Yep, I shared a room with my older sister when I was really young, and she was on the top bunk and I was on the bottom. My wall just covered with boogers, dude.
That's gonna make me vomit.
Well, you'd wipe them on the
I'd
wall?
pick my nose. I'd pick my nose when I was asleep and just
What a sicko. No, you roll them and flick them in the room. No one will ever find it.
no.
Oh,
Now
that's
I'll
so
do that.
gross.
Now I feel philosophical,
Yeah.
but you know,
Yeah.
now it's different. But back then, yeah, it was just walls all the time, or
no, the
under
walls are
tables.
rough.
Hit them underneath the table.
Yeah, that's rough too.
Yeah.
Or like under a desk or something.
Yeah.
Would you do that?
Boogers are weird, bro. Aren't they weird? Like, where do they?
I do not. I can get behind farts all day long.
You can't
but
talk
like,
about boogers.
It just I don't know something
It's
about
like dried
it.
up mucus,
Yeah, something
like
about it does.
semi-dried mucus in your nose.
You can't do it, dude. I
I
tried
don't
to.
know. It just grosses me out.
I try to shave my nose hairs because I have a boy. When I cut my nose hair, dude, the
Yeah.
boogers just like are real bad then because your nose hair like collects everything.
Ew.
And without those, dude,
Do you feel like you can breathe better when you trim your nose hair? Do you
think
do
so.
this as well, Josie, or do you not? You're
do.
is
not?
that something girls have to worry about, like nose hair? Yeah.
No, I don't worry about nose
Dude,
hair.
I think about it from time to time. I don't like to do it a lot because I'm afraid that it's like facial hair, like it'll grow back
yeah.
more. But sometimes I like riding the lightning and I'll shave it for fun.
Right, the lightning. Sometimes when I'm really tired and like I'm falling asleep during the day, I'll like pull one out like while
Oh,
I'm
my
just to,
mom
like,
used to
wake
do
you
that to
up.
my stepdad.
jolt me
feel
back
it.
up.
Oh, yeah. just to remind yourself you're alive.
Yeah.
Knock one out.
I'm back.
Yeah, swinging for the fences today. Yeah.
Julep, pop, 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 julep, pop, 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 pop,